Okay, the next speaker is, you've already seen him today. This is Ragnar Sass. And from what I understand, he will speak about a different thing. Like right now we understood that the design is important, but measuring the startup and the efficiency of the startup is also important. So he will discuss the matrix, right? And what's important for startups, or am I saying something wrong? I will leave it up to you, Ragnar, to tell what you're going to be speaking about.
Yeah, might be some, let's see, screen. So, yes, yeah, here. So anyway, yeah, I think there has been great talks about design. And you know, like, it's super important that you should have kick-ass design product today for going to the market. So all the things which I talk today, like I have basically seen myself in last 4 or 5 years, because I'm active entrepreneur and I'm like 100% startup guy. Even this T-shirt, not this shirt, what I have, it's done by one Estonian startup. I'm wearing Fit Tracker. It's made in China, by the way. I was in Hong Kong 2 weeks ago. I'm amazed that China is not anymore doing cheap copycats. They're leading innovation now. I had before Fitbit, which is $100. This is made by Xiaocom. It's $18, and it's better. It's just amazing. So, like, I'm active entrepreneur. All the things which I'm talking today is meant for like guys who want to run startups. So before I will jump in, as this is the stage, which is a bit different that I'm talking. So please raise hands, people who are part of startups. Just raise hands. Okay, 20–30%, awesome. So basically my talk will be that, okay, you have product, and how you really run your company, how you really be sure that you will not die. Because 90% of the startups, as we know, will be dying for different reasons. And lately, startup has become more and more like the one hype. Because like everybody can do startup. You can just do new startup is 1 weekend. But there is a big difference between real startup which are growing fast and just some 3 students who have started something over the weekend. So I will first just give you a bit more background, like about myself and how I've been getting these points which I'm now delivering to you. But I will start with one thing because I'm super proud to be from tiny Estonia. And I totally believe that it's important also part of your thing where you start your company. Super proud that recently this very well-known VC, Tim Drapers, has said that, you know, there are 3 effective governments in the world, and Estonia is one of them. So I know you have heard many things about Estonia, but the one thing which lately I have seen also creates that governments actually can a bit help startups. In Estonia we have been lucky that our government understands startups. We have now Prime Minister who is 34 years old. It's just a guy which I know like from my childhood somehow, and he's really understanding. And all these things has helping that if you look now Estonia, and this is just few examples of the successful Estonian companies. Everybody know, I hope everybody knows that Skype is from Estonia. Yes. Thank you. But you know, the cool thing is now, transfer-wise, their latest round was giving them valuation of 1 billion. So we have already next billion-dollar company from Estonia. Last year, GrabCAD was just sold for the 100 million, which is, by the way, good enough. But believe me, founder who was putting into the pocket like 15 million, he's most likely pretty happy. And one thing which we have seen, if I'm looking more and more data, we have seen that B2B startups are somehow more and more successful from Estonia. Because it's so hard to start B2C startup from Eastern Europe or even from Europe. You need to be in Silicon Valley. Because you never can raise money if you don't have revenue in Europe. So this is just first clue about KPIs. Let me just jump and mean that, as I said, I'm co-founder of Pipedrive. How many Pipedrive users we have here? Please raise hands who are using us. 1, oh my god. See, okay. So anyway, so we started 5 years ago. This is how our product looks. This is systems that should help you to sell more. This is meant for the SMBs, small, middle-sized companies. Because at the end of the day, every company should make money and microphone, okay, working. Should make money and sell something. And so we came up with the solution, what is easy to use and what's helping you. So this is how it looks today. This is how it looked 2010 after our first launch, because we had very fast launch. We basically launched our product with 1 month. And one of the most important KPIs or things for your company if you're running startup is speed. You know, that's the actually definition of startup for me is this is company which has designed for the rapid growth, which should grow every week. You can't call up some hamburger joint as a startup because they don't grow. But if if the company can grow every week, then this is for me startup. So this is how we are doing. Today we have users in 130 different countries. Actually this data is like 2 months old, but I just didn't have time to update it because last 14 months I have been in 22 countries. A week ago I was in Indonesia, in Jakarta, in a similar conference talking about our experience. So it's a bit challenging for me even. You know, I was happy because I was 2 days in my home, in my bed, just recently, you know. So things has been going super crazy. And this is how our map looks like. And I will give a clue a bit, you know, what is today Pipedrive? Like if somebody would work in office, how it will look like.
Well, hello there. My name is Ricky. I'm the Chief Happiness Officer at Pipedrive. This is my day at the office. This is our big building entrance, kind of like a lobby. And this is where we work. This is button. Button makes table go up, and the button makes table go down. Oh, this is an article about me. And over here are our coworkers. Coworkers are nice, very nice. This is a meeting where we stand up. This is where we do big business stuff. And then there's usual meeting. Today is a video call at the California office. Oh, it's sunny there. Hey, look, I'm in internet. And this is quiet room for old school calls. Hello, this is dog. And here's a room for jet lag. And we have a shower. Oh, this is kitchen. Kitchen is where we eat Kringle. We love Kringle. We even have a website for Kringle. Kringle. Ah, this is open air cafeteria. This is where I come to relax. Oh, speaking of relaxing, we also have a room entirely for games. It can take you to another reality. Wow. So this is it, folks. Come on over. I'd be happy to host you.
So yeah, we have been really trying to copy Silicon Valley to Estonia because this is how Google, Facebook, Twitter office usually looks like. But you know, they don't have so cool talk because this is Estonian hound. You can't find in Silicon Valley. So anyway, I will jump now into the data and the thing. I have most likely showing this before, but now I'm showing it from different angle. If you would ever raise money, you just need one slide, and this is it. You basically should show how are you growing. And this is basically giving our company history in just one slide. And yes, we have been also like being strong in fundraising, but I would say that fundraising is some number which has been had too much buzz, because this is not the KPI how we would measure success. This is just that you have capital. You know, whatever way I'm looking, success of a company has been always measured by one thing, how much you're making money. Because every startup, whatever moment, should start to make money. And in this you see two things. MRR means monthly recurring revenue, which is how much money we are making per this month. And paying customers means different companies who are paying for us. And this is the numbers, two numbers, which has been most important KPIs for our company from very early on. So basically, for me, as I am a big believer that you need to make money, most important moment from your startup is moment when you have first paying customer. And for us, it was 2011 March. First paying customer for us from Estonia, but second was from US. And this is, by the way, Pipedrive is my second startup. And my first startup was social network for dogs and cats. You know, I had all, oh my God, surprising. And we failed. And we failed with many reasons. And one thing why we failed, we was running out of money. We didn't make enough revenue. And all these things, all the problems started in the moment when we had to raise more revenue, but our matrix, KPIs, was not too strong. So investors didn't like us. So in this company, it was like, okay, what the hell, you know, we just really want to make a company which will make money, and we don't want to depend on investors. And this is how we have been doing. And you know what? We have been many times been break even, which means we make more money than we are spending actually. And surprisingly, if you don't need investors, so they're knocking your door. Say, please take this money, you know? Because investors always want to invest when you don't need them. That's true, by the way. It's just 100%. If you don't need them, they always say, if you need them, they're like, no, I will just send me your reports and, you know, go on, blah, blah, blah. Having in 5 years met like few hundred investors. I have kind of hate and love relation with them, more hate. Because many times, it's so rare to find one brave one who will just say, oh my God, I love you, this is the cash, do it. They always want to follow us. So, as I said, my first thing about KPIs, whatever you do, you know, your most important KPI have to be how much you make money. Just if you're really making company, not a non-profit. And you should also like measure how many paying users you have or paying customers, depending what is your company. And it's also important to see how much is conversion from the free users to the paying users. And next thing, what really makes you startup is how much you're growing. If you're reading TechCrunch news about this crazy gazillion dollar, you know, valuations, there is only one number what makes startup more successful than another, how much they are growing. These billion dollar companies are growing 20% per month. You know, we had talk yesterday, just today from one IT company who said in the States that they're growing 33% per year. If startup is growing 20% per month, you can make a calculation how much they're growing per year. It's like, I don't know, 800%. So, and you have to find some KPI which you can find that this is most important. It can be whatever visitors, it can be whatever thing, which you basically say, okay, this is what we're following and this should grow every week. The next thing, which was, by the way, our mistake in the Pipedrive is that, okay, you make money, it's growing, but it always some people will cancel the service and leave. And we didn't follow this number too closely. But believe me, this is some number which can really also break your company. If you lose 5% of your existing customer base per month, this means 60% per year. This is a huge number. And we actually, even though we are very successful, one moment we realized that, oh my God, we have to really more focus that because we just lose too much, you know, and there has to be some reasons. So you can measure two ways. how much you're losing customers or how much you're losing revenue. I think that revenue is even more important. And maybe other number which we have been starting lately, very much to follow, is NPS, which basically means how many people from our user base are ready to refer your service to their friends or a network. Pipedrive has been growing like 70% still viral. What this means? This means that our existing users are referring us new customers. And there is one tool which is delight.com, which is a great tool which is helping you to measure that. It's just you basically send out newsletter, or you just ask from your 10 random user, from 1 to 10, what is your feeling, how much you would refer us? If it's 10, we love you, we will refer. If it's 1, we just hate you. We even don't understand why we use you. And then you calculate that 40%, which is some, but there was calculation behind that, is the minimum, which showing your health, basically showing is your product good, is your service good. And in our case, it's just, this is what happens when this net promotion score is high. This is actual feeds from Twitter, what our users are talking about us. And this is how we are growing. And they just also sometimes write blog posts like this, just out of blue, which is in B2B software pretty rare. Because everybody, we can say we love Instagram, we kind of love or hate Facebook or Contactive, whatever. But for the business software, it happens pretty rarely. So they will say, we love you. Thank you. We have really hard working to make this happen. So, and now I'm showing you very funny stuff. Good friends of mine who is running B2B startup Buffer, they are showing their dashboard live data on internet. You can go to this exact web page and you can see live data about this startup KPIs. This is crazy, because that many people are afraid to show that, but they are like, we are innovators. So Buffer app is building a solution that helps you to buffer your Twitter tweets or Facebook updates or whatever. Like you wanna put that, I will publish this tomorrow at 5. So you will use their tool. So this is showing their live data. And if you have existing company with some revenue, you should have dashboard like that. This is just as a part of this, and this is a solution, BEL.BIZ, which is helping you to do that. So this kind of brings all your KPIs into the one screen. And I can show you the screen which I have never showed, which I removed the information because we can't show the data. So this is screen what we have in our office. Every single employer can see that. So what it's showing here, basically, this shows the last revenue. I just looked this today in the morning, so this is also live data. It shows last transactions, last clients who has paid for us. This shows how much money we made today and how much is prediction for this month. This number, but you can't see, I just can't give you data, showing how many paid customers we have. So these numbers here are showing live data, like in this moment there was 8,550 users who was logged in from 5,000 companies, and this is just how fast is our server. This shows live Twitter feed, what people talking about us. This is showing how healthy is our IT systems. And this is actually super important because it shows how many new visits we have already for this month. And I will give you 2 numbers, so you should be happy. This shows conversion from new visits to the signups, which is 10%, which is also very important to follow. And this shows from signups to new paid customer. So by this month's data, it was 19. And this is super high number, by the way. Because when we started the company, when we were Silicon Valley in 2011, this was like 8 or 9. And we have been really focusing also like how we can be sure that if somebody signs up, we can convert them into the paying customer. We have done several A/B tests, which we always are analyzing, and This number is pretty high, but we still believe we can still even grow that number. But you know, like, this is one of the key things, because you usually spend money for getting, you know, to advertising and so on. You need to be sure you can close them also, you can convert them into the money. And this startup, every single employer in our company knows that. So, and now I'm going exactly to the team part, because it's so great to have KPIs, but these KPIs should be also personalized for every single employer. If you just look this, whatever, how much we are making money and you're working in customer support, you're like, okay, fine, but I can't influence that one. So what we have done, we have tried to find personal KPIs. Support team is following like different KPIs a bit, like how many cases we have, most importantly, how much people are happy with our response. And this you can actually influence if you're working in support. So we have been trying to find in every department, for every single employer, say personal KPI, so they can feel we can influence that number. Because in our company, every single employer, even assistant, is a partner, which means everybody has stock options. Because we feel that everybody has their own part of our success. And the last thing here is actually, which is also like important, and I'm trying to be like punctual about timing, is that you know, your most important thing of your startup is actually still team, your own team, because who is doing these things, you know, every day. And I'm very proud that in our company, today we are 5 years old almost, we have 70 plus people. I don't even know how many exactly, because we just tried too fast now. And from these 5 years, only 5 people have left company. Because we are really first very carefully choosing people. We have 4 or 5 interviews, and then we try to nail down that these people can really enjoy working for us. And this like team share number, like how much people are like, you know, leaving the company and so on, is also giving kind of like some number how healthy is your company culture. Because I would love to say just one KPI which you should follow, but at the end of the day, it still happens that you have to look more numbers. So, as I said, we started 5 years ago as 5 founders. We have been happy that we had great know-how in our company. Urmas and Timo worked 15 years in sales, they did know everything about the sales. I have been working forever in IT, and Martin has been working with me and launching different IT services. So this was also the key part of our DNA, why we are successful. And yeah, I can just say that, you know, in one day, if you are, in B2B life, things take more time. But I have not calculated, but I do know that all these founders are already virtually millionaires, and you know, this actually feels great. This is actually just giving, it was 3 months ago, giving clue how is our headcount divided by different functions. So we are quite much still run by engineering, because engineers, for me, they are, you know, most important people in the world. They can really make impact. And other people can also, but I think that engineers are feeling like engineers is more and more like, you know, if there was in the past there was doctors and lawyers, today there are engineers. They can always like have a great job and whatever and so on. So the last thing, because yes, I'm almost timely. There are some great books, you know, which has been lately released, and I would definitely suggest you to read. Peter Thiel. I hope everybody knows who's Peter Thiel. No? He's founder of PayPal. He's one of the most successful venture investor in the world. He was first investor in Facebook. So he has writing this 0 to 1 great story to read. And then Ben Horowitz, who is founder of Andrei Horowitz VC fund. Again, you know, most successful VC in the world. And these books are really useful if you already has made made like first steps, and we wanna basically just give some, you know, like mentoring or whatever. So this is the great thing to read. And indeed, for me personally, the best product guy in the world is Steve Jobs. It's just I can still read it and understand how this genius guy was thinking about. So last slide. If you wanna use Pipedrive, this is special promo code for you. This promo code is working only this week. You can just use this VJ15, it will give you 3 months free trial. Because, you know, the funny thing, you know, which I didn't include here because I'm out of the time, is that there has been very creative ways how to use Pipedrive. You can customize it the ways how you want. And we have even seen one girl from New York who did use us for the finding boyfriend. So she did very customized pipeline because she had too many boyfriend candidates. And I don't know, maybe there are some girls also who are too popular, so you can use Pipedrive for handing your boyfriends, you know, or candidates, I don't know, like depending on yourself indeed. So yeah, like if you have startups and this is the promo code, you can reach me sometimes from my mail. I have usually 1,100 emails, but sometimes if you're really timely, you can hit me and I can reply. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we will take one question before the next speaker, so whoever wants to, I'm impressed, honestly, I think it's a great thing. One question, who wants to ask?
Just one question.
Okay, 2 questions, because
Или если до ничего не понимали, что здесь говорили, что... Я думаю, что это слишком сложно, да? Или что-то?
In English, no?
No, I can speak in English, yeah. It's just that if it's сильно нужно, тогда я могу говорить тоже на русском. Но потому что, да, я из Эстонии. Как вы видите, я такой медленный эстонский парень, я уже сказал.
Ragnar, thank you very much. I think this is for you, for your travels and trips. It's the charger for the mobile phone, a very important thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.